Well, amid increased Israeli-Palestinian violence, one name has emerged in an effort to perhaps further peace in the Middle East. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has agreed to meet with both Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later this month in Turkey. That visit will mark Netanyahu's first trip to Turkey as Prime Minister, and it marks the first time since 2008 that the country has hosted an Israeli prime minister. Could this be a sign of renewed diplomatic relations between the two countries? I want to bring in our panel of experts. We have Secretary General of the Transatlantic Parliamentary Group, Newsmax foreign policy analyst and author of Iran Imperialist Republic, Walid Faris, and foreign policy expert Harley Lippman. Gentlemen, great to have you back, both of you back with us on this segment. Harley, I want to kick this off with you. What do you make of this development, given the tough relationship that we have seen between Turkey and Israel even over the last decade?
Well, this is a real pivot of Turkey towards Israel and to eliminate the isolation that Erdogan has been feeling. He is trying to do the opposite of what Ataturk did. Ataturk, the reformer, took an empire and made it into a state. Erdogan is trying to make a state into an empire. But along the way, he found out that he wanted to be leader of the Sunni Muslims. But Egypt and Saudi Arabia have that, and no one really wanted to follow Turkey. Secondarily, a lot of Arab nations now have good relations with Israel. So he found out that he was being eclipsed. He had no leverage with Israel or any real relationship, so he has to do that. Yet at the same time, he doesn't want to be seen as abandoning the Palestinians, so he's having Abbas there. But he's in real trouble. Economically, the country is teetering. There's a deep recession there. So for all these reasons, and I'll add a last one, he's been a huge disappointment to the United States because of him trying to get closer to Russia insofar as a conflict with Ukraine. So that's another reason why he's trying to reach out to Israel.
Walid, this visit obviously is happening amid heightened tensions between Israel and Palestine following a massive two-day military operation in Jenin, the largest in the West Bank that we've seen in nearly 2 decades. That resulted in the death of at least 12 Palestinians. What do you think of Turkey's President Erdogan as a potential broker? And what do you think his strategy will be, meeting with both, the Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas as well as Netanyahu?
Well, Kilmeny, all three parties, that's Turkey, Israel, and the Palestinian Authority, represented by Mahmoud Abbas, have interest in getting that summit, getting some sort of roundtable for discussions. But here's the problem, is that Mahmoud Abbas, the head of the Palestinian Authority, is not the main problem here. He is a problem. He has a problem with the Israelis. We know that. But it's Hamas. Who opened fire in Jenin? Who called for a full intifada, armed intifada in the West Bank? For the first time in the West Bank, Hamas and Islamic Jihad, backed by the Iranians. Which means that all three parties, Israel, the Palestinian Authority, and Turkey, have an interest in finding a solution, which is not going to be easy because Hamas wants to transform one part of the West Bank into an extension to Hamas and then continue with that warfare with the Israelis. So let's see if Erdogan has enough clout. The problem is President Erdogan at this point in time is letting go of the Muslim Brotherhood because he's doing a rapprochement with the Saudis, with the Egyptians, with the UAE. So it is in his own interest, basically, to work with the Israelis and the Palestinians. But how much effort, how much success he will have, it's to be seen.
And of course, the announcement of this meeting comes just a few days after Israel's President Isaac Herzog marked 75 years of Israel's independence in an address to a joint session of Congress here in Washington, D.C. And during that speech, he issued a warning that Israel's existence is at risk given Iran's nuclear weapons aspirations. Take a listen.
Perhaps the greatest challenge Israel and the United States face at this time together is the Iranian nuclear program. Let there be no doubt, Iran does not strive to attain nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. Iran is building nuclear capabilities that pose a threat to the stability of the Middle East and beyond.
You know, while Herzog's role in Israeli politics is largely ceremonial, Netanyahu holding the decision-making power, he made it a point to tell Congress that allowing Iran to get a nuclear weapon would be unacceptable. Harley, talk to me a little bit about this particular address and the impact it could have on the Biden administration's, I guess, continued efforts to push Iran toward a nuclear deal.
If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, it will change everything. For one, you have to believe what they say. They want to destroy Israel. And Jewish people have learned when bad people say they're going to do things to the Jews, they generally do them. So this is likely to happen. And that's one thing. The second thing is, if they develop a nuclear bomb, all the Arab nations in the Middle East are going to want a nuclear bomb now. So you're going to have nuclear proliferation. You're going to have all these nations getting a nuclear bomb. And in that part of the world, somebody's going to end up using one. So that's the second reason why you want to stop them from doing it. So the United States has to make sure in uncertain terms that we don't allow them to have it.
All right, Waleed Phares, Harley Lippman, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.